Hello.
Hello. Well, welcome to Wine and Wellness. I'm Kara.
I'm Erin.
We love you.
Cheers! And here's Carly. Behind the scenes. Okay.
We're having snacks, water, and coffee and wine.
Snacks, water, coffee, and wine.
Uh-huh.
What are you wearing tonight? What Lulu do you have on?
Well, I have on the scarf. I have the name.
Vinyasa scarf.
Thank you. The Manassas. And it has many designs that can go with it.
Yeah.
But I'm very simple in life. I also have my plain black Lululemon pants that,
Align?
quite honestly, feel like butter.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I don't...
Like, there's nothing there.
Secretly, I wear them to work. No one knows.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe somebody knows, but it's
that's
really,
what we say.
so
like,
comfy.
take them to work out, take them to Chops.
They're very versatile.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can work out in them. You can do your day job in them. The like pretty little tunic design. Throw the scarf on.
Good
You've
to
got
go.
an accessory. It's fabulous. And I love. You're wearing the Vanessa.
I'm wearing the Vinyasa scarf too.
Mm-hmm.
And mine is Heather Gray.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just wearing solid black.
I have a wife beater on. But I just dressed it up with the scarf.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what makes it so cute and so fun
Right,
because you're like, and here I am. I'm ready to go.
Right.
Having my wine.
Yeah, and then I have the green camo Aligns.
Love it.
Yes, I think they are 28s. That's why they're a little long on me. And my flip flops, of course. That's my country club look. On Wednesdays, hair by Jen. We do hair.
Hair by Kara. I didn't get the memo last week, so I decided to up my game this week. So I'm upping my game on my hair for the podcast. And you're also wearing your snatchel. Is it officially called a snatchel?
I have my snatchel.
You have your snatchel.
I have my snatchel. It is not a fanny pack. It is a snatchel.
That is correct, because fanny packs are from the 1980s, and the snatchel
is
the
it
new fanny pack.
resides on my snatch. That's why it's my snatchel. That's all I'm saying.
I just work here. No, you know what? I don't.
You don't.
Actually,
You
I
don't
don't
work
work here. I buy the Lululemon. Sometimes I'm gifted the Lululemon.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Because I'm good friends with. Yeah, so thank you.
You're welcome. When we were just discussing, what in the world? Why are cheddar checks so amazing?
Well, I'm having the
those are
the
so
traditional like Nature Valley.
And we ate dinner.
We had dinner. I had the darn truffle fries that are not on the workout diet.
I had lobster in a bowl.
It looked really. I actually thought that looked much better than in
it looked like more lobster than we got.
Yeah, I feel like you guys got a good hunk of the lemon or the
lobster.
The lobster, like a hunk of lobster.
So, what we're gonna do?
Yeah.
Is we're doing a blind taste test, and it was Carly's idea for us to do a blindfolded taste test.
We have no idea what's about to happen.
We're gonna heighten all our senses by taking away one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Really
absolutely. And so we'll have no idea. We won't know if it's red, white. We've been drinking red wine because that's kind of our MO. That's all we do.
Well, we have to. Yeah.
But that's not true. We
had
will
champagne,
expand our horizons every once in a while. And then after the wine tasting, we're gonna have our long talk tonight for the podcast. Do you think the audience is ready for what we have to say tonight?
It's very controversial. We've been talking about it for a week at least.
I actually feel like we've been talking about it our entire friendship. However, it just events
all
of the recent. We're like, wait a second. Yeah, why isn't this on the podcast? Because I feel like, and I think it's a very relatable topic for our audience.
Absolutely, and I think it's something that needs to be talked about. And talk and openly, because we're not going to all agree.
No, we're not. And I mean, because everybody has a different background and a different level of thoughts on this particular topic. So we might offend, and we might make friends.
Now, if we do offend, let's think about that. Let's talk about that. If we do offend,
we don't mean to.
Well, no, we don't mean to. But at the same time, if you are offended, are you giving me that power to do that?
Wow. So many layers. And our audience doesn't even know what we're going to talk about.
I know. This is awesome.
I didn't know which way we were recording tonight. We have lots of cameras.
We do. We have our background.
Oh, we have our check.
Oh, it's all about Kara.
Wow.
There you go, girl.
Yeah. So
Oh my
I will
gosh.
say though, I'm really impressed with our current audience. We have, first of all, we've made it over the $2 mark.
Wow.
I think last week we were celebrating $1.
Mm-hmm.
This week we're at $2.35. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite able to buy a bottle of wine, but we're getting there. I think we're doing okay.
Oh, hi.
Hi. I don't know what camera.
Go with this angle down.
Hello. Don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what's happening. And we have over 50 audience members and nearly 375 plays between our 6 episodes. This will be our 7th episode.
Wow.
And this was just for funsies. Really.
This is for fun.
It is for fun. And we love that our fun audience is having fun with us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So we're waiting for our wine.
But we accidentally ordered coffee too, so now it's
coffee
okay,
first.
Coffee
okay,
first.
so this is important because we might have like pre-gamed just a little,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
I mean, you know,
I mean,
that's what happens.
Yeah.
I
You were
mean,
like, why are you ordering a bottle of wine? I'm like, well,
no.
there's 3 of
what
us.
was the bottle of wine that we're drinking now?
I don't
even remember the name of
remember.
it.
What was that called? That bottle of wine. Oh, there's the coffee.
No, that's the creamer. Oh! I just put it in there because the other ones are so little and if you guys all want some.
You're
Thank
amazing,
you.
Lori. Thank you.
Thank you.
The amount of creamer that just came out, plus the whipped cream.
It's decaf, right?
This is decaf, and we're feeling really good about it. Here's our sponsor, Fort Wayne Country Club. We're feeling really good about that. They're super nice to us.
I'm sorry, babe.
So much happening there with the creamer and the whipped cream.
That's perfect.
You need enough to change your color, you know?
Oh,
it
I know,
has
yeah,
to
it has
be
to
a
change.
very
It has to
specific
change.
color, or else it's not.
That's perfect.
Worthwhile.
Thank you. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, thank you very much. This is great.
Oh, perfect. It hasn't been opened yet. You gotta crack the seal. There you go.
Oh dear God. Okay, there better be enough because you guys just took like all the creamer. See what's left in here now.
Here, do you need some help? I work out. We just moved a whole bunch of furniture.
I'm gonna tell you, this strained Flexar right here
Oh yeah.
from last week's Farmer Carries
Mm-hmm.
with the reclaimed 20-pound weights. Last week's episode. Wow, look at us. We're just gonna like put up our coffees. Like, please put the
I
whipped
should
cream in
have
there.
put
You're fabulous, Lori. Thank you.
chocolate drizzle or caramel.
Oh, this should have been like a macchiato, like home style.
Thank you.
Wow. This might be more exciting than the wine.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Okay, blind up.
Blind up.
Oh, here it comes.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Wait, I gotta start the podcast. Hang on. Don't do anything yet. Okay.
We gotta actually start.
Hold up.
I'm gonna get a little bit of this.
Okay. Are you?
Alright, we'll go get the wine.
Okay, we're getting ready.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
This is
Okay. I'm
Such a
gonna.
great-
Ooh, this is good.
I'm gonna wait till she comes back this way. She's like walking all the way out. I'm not gonna start recording podcasts until.
don't get it on your hood. Got on my face.
What are we doing here with these?
We're getting different B-roll. I don't know. A-roll, B-roll. I mean,
It's all called B-roll. I wasn't gonna say that. But.
C, D.
Double D?
Just the tip.
Oh dear God. Oh, can I have a straw, please?
Oh man.
This is really
usually
fun.
they
Don't
make
see
their own
Carly,
whipped
but
cream.
she's here in the background.
Hi, kids.
We love Carly.
It is good. Like this is, but
What's my job title? Marketing manager?
CFO.
Well, at work, yes.
No, it was CMO, Chief Marketing.
CMO.
What is your job?
Smo.
title? You make it
CPO,
to all
Chief-
our staff meetings.
Chief Podcast
You have-
Officer.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
CPO.
Yeah, we need that at work.
I have my name on the line on here.
You've got
You have a drawer.
I was gonna say you have a drawer.
I forget who was I talking to today, and they're like, "What do you mean you have a podcast?" I'm like, "Yeah, just find me on Spotify."
Yeah.
It's like,
Right?
wow, that rolled off the tongue like way too quickly at school day. I'm like, "You just find me on Spotify. I'm on Spotify."
Yep. Or Apple. We're on Apple too.
Just search my
We're a
name.
Spotify family.
Facebook.
We're a Spotify family.
You're
I
my,
can't
you're my
actually
family
access
plan.
Spotify
I am on
on
your
my
family
phone.
plan.
You know, the irony is I can't access Spotify on my phone. I'm having an identity crisis with my iPhone.
Do you need to join my family plan?
There's something that needs to happen. I'm going to the AT&T place tomorrow. I'm gonna say,
I'm just loving
this.
how we've really upgraded it at the workout.
with Lululemon.
It started with Lulu.
Wand. Yeah, it started like the
Lululemon.
We got
energy
the
that
wand.
came from Lulu.
We like
Let's
started
begin with-
doing each other's makeup. We had pillow talk every day. It was so fun.
Meanwhile, I'm not there for that stuff.
Well, you come to the staff meeting.
I had to do my own hair today.
Mm.
It was really fine until I went to family tennis.
I mean,
Oh, and I started to say that. So family tennis almost became negotiable tonight.
Yeah. What's up with that?
Well, at 3 o'clock, I'm literally like, I could go either way. I could like go to bed right at 3 o'clock because I'm just so tired, or I need to get myself together. So I decided to. This is why Coach Carly was like, "Oh, what?" I decided to run on the elliptical, and I did like some interval kind of like I'm just gonna have to. And I really broke a good sweat. And guess what? My headache was gone.
Yep.
And I was like, I got my second win.
Because so often you think you need a rest, but really you actually need to use energy to get more energy.
I need to go.
And that's what I said. Because on Wednesdays I usually am going all until podcast time, and I just have to keep going. Like I can't rest. And today, because we have fall break, we're on fall break now.
Oh.
And so, my 7 o'clock Canterbury boys, they got out early, so they came in earlier, and then, and I was like done a little earlier, so I had like a little break where I went home, and I was just like, I can't sit, I have to do laundry, I have to give the kids bath, we have to keep moving the whole time, because as soon
If
as
you sit, it's over.
It's over.
That's the dichotomy.
So good.
God, where's this
So
wine so we
good.
can get started? I don't know if I have the microphone in the right place. We're dealing with this.
What's a learning curve?
Do you think we should do more like
This? Okay.
I don't know.
So a year ago I was in France. I just like saying that.
I'll just block myself on this my camera. Okay.
Okay, so last year when I was in France.
That was last year.
I know, right?
It's a whole year ago.
Not quite. It was 11 months ago. Everyone in France wears scarves. It's cold. She's coming.
Okay, hang on.
And they actually work because I'm like sweating right now.
Let me finish this bite.
You can't eat without seeing.
What are you eating?
Oh yeah. Are you gonna
I gotta press play.
Let's
Hang on.
start. Just press play.
I have to open my eyes to hear better.
Okay. 3,
Turn the music down.
2, 1. Hello and welcome to this week's Wine and Wellness. I am Kara,
I'm Erin.
and we are literally blindfolded because we're doing a blind tasting this week for our wine selection. We have no idea what we're being served, and Zach is not here again. Gosh, Zach.
But we have Lori.
We have Lori. Lori is our fabulous savior on Wednesday nights. What?
There's nothing in there yet. Hold on.
And I'm not looking at anything. I'm just trying to
Hold
say
the stem.
when I have a glass of wine in my hand, because I don't know what's happening. Carly's with us this evening.
Hi.
Hi, Carly.
Hello.
And we are.
Are we gonna attempt to cheers?
Oh God, not until after we taste it. That could be a really big accident. We're literally blindfolded. You're fabulous. Okay.
Okay. Are you
Lori's
holding
great.
it by the stem?
I have the stem.
Yeah.
Carly.
Okay. Let's sniff it.
Okay. Smells like bleach.
Smell. I can't. Okay, this is it. I think my senses are blown.
It doesn't smell great.
Since you got COVID.
I don't have COVID. I feel like every week I can't
You
smell
let
the
someone else
wine.
try your wine, and you were like,
I
can't
rotten
smell
time
it.
to start a podcast with during a pandemic, but that's okay. So
No, I seriously, I smell bleach.
no, I
What do you smell?
I smell leaves.
Oh, leaves.
I smell earthy. I was gonna say earthy, and like last week was earthy. So let's take a taste.
Okay.
Okay. Well, it's chilled.
It's cold.
Oh, it's a chilled
It has
wine.
a lot of flavor.
It's really good.
I'm gonna
Wow.
call it Chard. Use a Chardonnay.
I'm gonna call it in the Pinot Noir neighborhood.
No, Noir.
Pinot Noir.
You think it's a red?
I think it's a red.
That's chilled.
I think it's a red that's chilled.
I think it's white.
I think it's white.
Yeah.
I think it's red. Should we find out?
Pinot Grigio. Okay.
Okay.
Are we gonna?
I say Pinot Noir.
Oh.
All right.
Final answers?
Let's
I say Pinot Grigio then.
Let's unblind.
Okay.
Okay. Ah! It's red.
What?
Whoa, and it's a
Kara.
Malbec.
Malbec. Oh!
Wait, is it good?
Yeah.
Sorry.
There goes the water.
She's cut off.
We have a lot of drinks going on here. We have we have coffee, water, and
So
wine.
is our Malbec
Wow.
served?
I
so
think
sorry.
it worked.
Malbecs
He said
are
it.
cold-
He
are
said
cold.
put it in the fridge for a little bit
Oh.
to chill it, just to
Wow.
get it. I don't think it's supposed to be like in the fridge all the time. I think where he had it, it was maybe a little warm. He said cool it down a little bit.
Well, that's interesting because I haven't had a Malbec in a very long time.
Yeah.
And I didn't have it in there very long.
And this is called what? Waterbrook?
Waterbrook Reserve,
Reserve.
2014 Malbec.
Columbia Valley. So that's what? Washington State? Or as some people say, Washington.
Ugh.
I know. I had to do it. Just for kicks. Wow. So so Waterbrook, we need a little research. Waterbrook Reserve, 2014 Malbec, Columbia Valley.
I almost taste smoky.
Well, were there fires in 2014?
Yeah.
That sounds
No,
awful, but you know
no.
what? I mean, I think that's actually a recurring issue.
Right.
And
Thank
maybe-
you. In Washington though, or in California?
Yeah. Well, there were, so 2 years ago, my husband and I were doing a road trip, and we took the coastline, the Pacific Highway,
The PCH.
from California to Oregon, and there were fires.
Wow.
So I would not be surprised but I don't know, that was, what year are we, 2020? So that was 2018, I think we were up there. I think so.
I ran barefoot down a mile down the PCH in my bathing suit.
What? Go back. When? How old were you?
A couple years ago, when I was at SEALFIT, when I was training with the Navy SEALs. They made us swim a mile in the ocean. Then we had to get out of the ocean, up to the PCH, run barefoot in our bathing suits down the PCH, like shattered glass everywhere. I mean, it was absolutely crazy. We were with cars there, and we were joking. We always joke that it was like a really bad episode of Baywatch. Like the one that no one wants to see.
Well, right, because...
And the thing is, like, I never wear shoes, so I'm not like a big shoe person, so my feet are kind of tougher.
Were you running barefoot?
Yeah, we had gotten out of the ocean. We got out of the ocean.
Oh, okay.
We had to run
Well, I
up the
guess so.
stairs.
You didn't have, like, water shoes on or anything?
No shoes.
What?
Just our bathing suits. No shoes, and we had to run a mile back to where we started. It was great. It was
Well,
really fun.
you know what? This wine's for you. This
you,
lovely
Malbec.
Malbec.
Has nothing to do with Washington State.
Absolutely not. But it's the same highway that runs along the
Speaking of the
Pacific coastline.
PCH, yeah.
How, it's like that, to be honest, like I want to do the other part of it where you're like from LA to San Francisco. That is gorgeous. I mean, the part we did was wonderful. I would love to do the whole thing sometime. I just think it would be adventure, fun.
We went as north as Huntington Beach on the PCH, and that was fantastic. And then down to, Coronado or whatever, but...
Yeah, well, I mean, it was a great trip. But this just and honestly, when Carly said, what'd she say? You smelled leaves. I smelled earth. So, and I think some of those Washington wines are kind of earthy. There's an earthiness. You smelled bleach, which is a little questionable.
I'm a novice wine drinker.
Me? You're way more not novice than me. I'm like super novice.
You have a wine cellar in your house.
That's like kind of not being used as a wine cellar right now. Let's
It's
say that
storage.
It's storage right now because yes, we're rearranging things. So it's currently a linen closet. We need to fix that.
Is it linen? We were there. We were like, what the fuck is happening right now?
You have
This
so
is
many
not a wine
options.
cellar.
You had the opportunity and you
Yes,
wasted
exactly.
it.
Well, the people that owned the house before us, I discovered she's a wine distributor.
Oh.
So all I can think of is just a second. If she was a wine distributor, why couldn't I be one?
Yep.
I've got the space.
Yeah.
I just don't have the knowledge.
And you can afford the house, being a wine distributor, right?
Yeah, I could then. Yeah, not so much right now. Not on my
way,
bill.
man.
Not on my pittance. Mm-mm. But so we like the wine. And sometimes you make fun of me if I put a slight ice cube in a wine because you look at me.
You do ice your red wine.
I do. I know. It's
So embarrassing.
It's so embarrassing. But I think and this will play into what we're about to talk about, I think, but when you reach a certain age, you're like, gosh darn it, I'm a little hot. So we're going to discuss tonight on the Wine and Wellness podcast the dichotomy of a woman or being a woman.
Yes.
Is that what we said? Because lately we've just been feeling like the crunch, like the really? Ugh, it's 2020.
Yes.
Are we in equal standing? Are we not? Why?
And the thing is, it's not just coming from men.
No.
It's coming from other women too. And there's so many scenarios where men can get off scot-free and women just take the heat.
I think every scenario.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter what we do as women, whatever the situation is, men will come out smelling like a rose every time. It doesn't matter. And I think we started this conversation a little bit last week.
Yeah.
We were talking about, kind of at the end of last week's episode, butterflies and caterpillars.
Yeah.
And then earlier I said, well, who's the caterpillar? Who's the butterfly? Is it men? Is it women? Who shines in the end? Not looking for an answer, Erin, because you're not giving me one. You're staring at me like, gosh, I wish people could see us.
Well,
we are recording.
We are recording.
2 ways. 3 ways.
We go both ways.
Oh, wow. So, speak for yourself. I was going to talk about the dichotomy of women.
Right,
so here we are. Okay, it's 2020.
Both ways.
We are both moms. We are both daughters. We are both sisters. We are both aunts. We are both cousins. We are both working women. So when we put on our different hats throughout the day, and you've heard me say this before, and you've said it before too, we work all day in our outside of the house job, right? Whatever that career is. And then we come home. And it's like, and we were just talking about this a little bit ago, if we sit down, the whole night's done.
Right.
And then the second job didn't happen.
Oh.
Like dinner's not happening, homework, I don't know, you're on your own. You know, if there were any
time.
bath
brush
time.
your teeth.
Yeah, get it all done.
Cleaning up dinner.
Oh my
Getting
gosh.
ready for the next day.
I just want a side note. During COVID, I made a statement early on saying, I have never run my dishwasher so much in my life.
Yeah.
Thank you, COVID.
Yeah. No, or
The many
so much
gifts
in
of
my life.
COVID.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And and that's that's exactly how it feels coming home. It's not like, oh, I get to go home after work. It's like, okay, here we go, second job.
Well, except to say, like today, for instance, I told you around 3 o'clock, I was feeling really sluggish, and I was like, ugh, I don't want to do family tennis. Wednesday is family tennis night, and I'm like, man. And so I said, family tennis was becoming very negotiable because Kara did not feel like driving back and playing for an hour or whatever it is that we do. And then I went for my indoor run, elliptical in quotes. And it was like, I didn't even need ibuprofen. I didn't need a cup of coffee. I didn't need anything. I just needed, apparently, to get my heart rate really high. And then I could say, all right, now I'm ready for my second half
you have to
of the
use
day.
energy to get energy.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, a
And
whole
a lot-
dichotomy in itself.
And a lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah.
A lot of people just come home, sink down into the couch and say, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to do that.
Absolutely, because we're created to survive. And we don't have stress management tools. And our cortisol levels are going unmanaged. And we talked about that before.
Yeah.
But going back to the dichotomy of being a woman, I love the quote, and it's all over Facebook, is women are expected to work as if they don't have kids, and they're expected to raise kids as if they don't work. And I see that, and I see a lot of the pressure I put on myself because I'm comparing myself to the moms that don't work, or oh my gosh, they're such good moms, or they're doing all this other stuff that I'm not able to do, and they're volunteering, and they're or I'm comparing myself to people that don't have kids, or they have different situations, and and so I think obviously comparison is the thief of joy.
It is.
And what was the other thing we were talking about last week when I was telling you on Good Morning America, Gail, Oprah's best friend,
Right.
was doing this report on how, hey, not 50% of CFOs are women. CEOs or CFOs. I forget which. Maybe it was CEOs because you're one of them. So it's like, sorry, I'm talking to Carly.
I'm the CPO, Chief Podcast
Yes.
Officer, just to clarify my title.
Right. So, in that, I remember that really pissing me off because I think women and men are created for different things and they have different strengths naturally,
Yeah.
hormonally, you know. And we are more nurturing and we are created to carry on the next generation, to feed the neighborhood if it needs fed, you know, from our bodies.
Right.
To go through the desert pregnant and barefoot or, you know, whatever, and men are created to kind of like spread their seed and die. That's why we have more body fat, you know? Our body fat is a blessing, right? We're created to live longer. And we're created to
I have longevity?
Yes! Wait, we go to a deserted island, like, you know, you or Rick, who's going to die first?
Not me.
Yeah.
All right.
But that's the thing is to put that pressure on women that you need to be a CFO or you need to be a CEO.
Exactly.
And you shouldn't want to stay home with your kids, right? Even though that's so ingrained in so many women. And I don't like the pressure of everything needs to be 50-50 and everything needs to be, you know, because we are created for something different. We have different strengths and weaknesses. And to tell a woman that she's not good enough because she stays home is complete bullshit.
Well, and that's why I don't like the judgment. If you made the choice to stay home, awesome. I think that's great. If you're making the choice to go and work and raise a family, awesome.
Right.
Like, it's hard, no matter what choice you make.
Right.
Or the women that choose to never have children.
Yes.
Or the women who choose to have children. Or they change their mind in the middle of all it going, wait a second.
Yeah.
Maybe I do, maybe I don't.
Yes.
You know, whatever that choice is, why is it judged? Why?
Or we were talking earlier, even like the women that have children because that's what they think society says they need to do.
Yes. Or even just getting married. Like
you need a man.
The box.
You
need a man. Check the box.
F the box.
Oh.
I'm trying to find a T-shirt that says that.
We'll make one. F the box.
F the box.
There you go. Don't you have the T-shirt equipment?
Well, we do.
F that. All right. Now, back to this. So, dichotomy of a woman. So, in our society today, where I think social media does play a role in a lot of that judgment that we're talking about, how do we combat, or how do we say, this is me? Like, I made these choices. Why can't you,
this is me.
Society, why can't
we can watch The Greatest Showman.
We can watch yes. Let's watch The Greatest Showman and sing along.
Yes.
Sing along style.
October 30th at midnight, we'll do that.
Like, I feel like there's a lot of movies happening on October 30th.
I know. It's a whole night thing.
Movie marathon happening October 30th, not on the podcast. Oh, dear. No, we only have 30 minutes on the podcast.
Yes.
We try to keep our listeners, which, by the way, listeners, you're awesome and great. I mean, I have enjoyed watching numbers, and I'm not a numbers person, but every week I just kind of watch it go up. So please continue to like and share, and reach out to us if you have questions or comments or something.
There's something you want us to talk about.
We're happy to look into it, because I think the other part of this dichotomy of a woman, and we're both moms of daughters.
Oh, yes.
How do we balance the job of raising a daughter in today's day and age where body shaming, making sure that they get their education, is college right for them, or is college not right for them? I feel like even just that decision, that's a check the box. So many schools just promote college. That's not for everybody.
Well, let's talk
There's so many other careers that people can do that are totally fine.
Are we giving our girls the language and the skills that they need to go to college, to be prepared to tell a guy, no, I don't want this?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Because if we say, no, I don't want this, we're the bitch.
Mm-hmm.
We're the bad person.
And if you say yes or you just go along with it, then you're a whore.
There's no win.
Uh-huh.
It's
That's
a
the
no
dichotomy right
win.
there.
Yes. And then that follows through into a career or into relationships.
Or you're hormonal. Or you're,
Yes. Yeah, oh, it must be because you're a woman. No, I'm a free thinking.
Right.
And I don't want us to sound like we're like angry women
No,
in our
no,
middle age
yes.
going, F that box.
Yes.
However, it's come to light. It's like, wait a second. I have just the same rights as you do.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's so hard as a parent, like you said, to give them the courage, this feeling of self-worth. You can't really teach that.
And that's where my favorite quote is going to come in. Okay.
I'm ready.
The quickest way to enlightenment is raising children, because you have to be everything you want for your children. So if you want your child to be brave, you have to be brave. If you want your child to be successful, you have to be successful. If you want your child to be happy, you have to be happy. Whatever you want for your kid, you have to completely embody, because they're not going to listen to you. And they're especially not going to listen to you because kids see the truth. They see right through you. You should do this. Like if you were a smoker and you're like, you know what, you shouldn't smoke. They're not going to see that.
Nope. They're
At
going to
all.
see you smoking.
Yes. Yes. You know,
Yes.
you should be brave, but you should be brave enough to be happy. But I'm just going to do this so you're happy, and I'm going to sacrifice my happiness so you're happy. They're never going to actually be happy because they only see your sacrifice. They only see that model.
That is a great quote. Wow.
Yeah.
And that's powerful, because as those of us that either checked the box or chose to be parents, either way, here we are. And we're raising that next generation. And I really see, at least in my experience and what I do during the day, is kids tend to be more open-minded than they used to be, maybe even 10 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
So I think there's a little turning of the tide.
Like a universal consciousness awakening?
Yes.
Yeah.
However, we still have teachers, professors, mentors who have those old school,
Absolutely.
well, men are designed for this and women are designed for that. And so then they're influencing our young when, we can do what we can do at home with our children, but then when we send them out into the world at school or in a workplace or, whatever they're doing, volunteer work, we can't control what's going to happen there.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And that's the scary part, because we can show them love, and we can be the love, and we can be the example of bravery, and we can be the example of this is what we believe in. But when they're faced with sometimes that cold, harsh reality, it's like,
and I think going back to my 2 years training with the Navy SEALs, I traveled back and forth to California for 2 years and left my family, and I got a lot of flack from people, other women. I can't believe you would do that. I can't believe you would leave your family. And because I did it, I was a better mother. Because I did it, I was a better, boss. Because I did it, it did so much more for my life, and showing my kids what was possible. Rather than telling them about it and sitting back and being like, man, I wish I could have done that. But I'm not going to do that because I'm a mother.
Because you were looking at the end result, not necessarily the sacrifices.
Right.
Because you knew you were sacrificing, they were sacrificing too.
Absolutely.
All of the village that was helping you. Your parents, your in-laws, I'm sure your husband, everybody's stepping up.
Right.
And now you feel more confident and more whole as a parent.
Yeah.
Because you took those steps.
I just don't think that there is any, I don't know the English word for this.
Is it another language?
No, I was
Is it an Aaron word?
Yes. Like goodness in sacrificing yourself for your kids, because like I said, like it doesn't leave anybody any further along,
Right.
And the dichotomy of that situation was I was able to completely thrive and succeed in a male-driven place where I was the only female, you know.
Oh, that's right. You were the only one.
And the reason why, I would say the reason why I was able to thrive was because I had kids. You know, because I was mentally stronger. Because, you know, because we didn't sleep for 3 days, and I was like, I haven't slept in 15 years.
It's
I haven't
fine.
slept since my first baby was born.
I got this.
Please give me a break. I've been up for 3 days in a row with kids.
Yes,
you know,
absolutely.
I've been up and stressed in more stressful situations than some Navy SEAL, you know, telling me, yelling at me.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And I'm like, you're not going to hurt my feelings. Mm-hmm. Maybe a 4-year-old that tells me that they hate me hurts my feelings. Yeah. But not you. You know.
Yeah, because you're not.
Yeah.
You're not anything.
It just
to
makes
me.
you so much mentally stronger. So by being a mother, I was able to do that, and because I wanted to be a better mother, I was able to do it. Right? And I just think that there's so many people in this world because of the box that we live in, because of what society says. This is what a good mother looks like. This is what a good wife looks like. This is how women should be, or girls need to be seen, not heard. You know?
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Right?
That is so frustrating.
Right? And so we're growing up with those standards and with old principles and with you know,
and they don't work in today's society. They don't
work.
But we're hanging on to them. It's like
and
this
everybody's
old guard.
Miserable.
Right. And maybe that's part of the division in our nation. I don't think it's just political. I think it's kind of a basic inherent these are my beliefs, and I'm not willing to see.
I'm not willing to question my beliefs.
Right.
Because my parents believe that.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with what our parents believe.
Right.
However, it's perfectly fine at the same time to question their beliefs and to. Now that doesn't mean you change, and maybe you do agree with your parents.
Yeah.
And maybe your parents were very open-minded and super awesome.
Yeah.
And I think that so much of us, in our socialization, everything comes from our parents, but then when we're sent out into the world, and I just think we're in this real critical point where social media plays this extra role that wasn't there when you and I were growing up.
Absolutely.
But it's there now for our children. And it's frustrating because it's like, that's not what we believe. Why are you doing that? Which sounds a little backwards from what I was just saying, but I feel like we have to guard a little because there's so much out there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's so much judgment.
And I think what you're getting at is there is so much worth put into the outside.
Right.
There's so much validation that we're getting from the outside world instead of in here. And we're not teaching our kids, we're not teaching anybody to get our own validation here from our heart.
Right.
And when you know who you are and you know your heart and you know what's right and you know how to listen to your heart and not your head, because any relationship you have to justify, you really need to think, do you really need that relationship? You know, well, I'm going to stay in this relationship because we might go camping, right? Or I'm going to stay in this relationship because
I would go glamping.
You know, because like they're the father of my kids, right? Oh, well, I guess I should stay here. You know, like, when you start justifying relationships, instead of like, I would never have to justify keeping Isla. Right.
Well, she's your
daughter. She's my, my baby. Like I would never be like.
And she wants to be super mommy for Halloween.
She wants to be super mommy.
Super mommy for Halloween.
Yes, but you know, like there's your true relationship. You never ever have to justify.
No.
Even an employee, like, well, they cover the schedule. Well, they show up. Well, you know, like Carly, I've never had to justify keeping her. Like I've never had to justify keeping you as a friend. You know.
Oh, thank you.
Well, she feeds me wine at the country club. Maybe I should keep her around. You know, like, because your heart doesn't have words.
No.
Your brain has words. Your heart doesn't have words.
And we can see our heart value. Or at least our
you
heart.
Have to learn how to turn this off and listen to this.
Right.
And when you're getting validation, you're getting direction from TV and from media and from your parents and from everything outside of you, you'd never learn how to listen to your heart.
You're not your true self.
No. And you're afraid to be.
Right.
Because you have to justify everything. And that sucks, man.
And that's part of the dichotomy of a woman, because it seems to me, at least in our culture in the United States and in our society, that women have a different role.
Okay. What role is that?
Well, according to some, that is to have children, to raise children, to keep a happy home.
Wow.
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 It's out there. It's
Okay.
still out there.
Wow.
And I think, sure, but can I have a career? Can I have a voice? Can I go start a business? Can I do what I feel like is right for me?
And okay, so there is a billboard downtown that I cannot stand.
Uh-oh. What does it say?
It says women, some of our most untapped resources. So first of all, untapped.
Oh, dear God.
Okay.
It sounds like a keg.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, I'm at a frat party
I've been
right
tapped,
now.
Okay?
I've been
like I'm
tapped.
good
Yes,
to go.
I'm good to go.
And so I built my business, and I didn't get to build my business because I'm a woman. I didn't get any special circumstances or any
Right.
special consideration because I'm a woman. I didn't want them.
Right.
I didn't want them.
You
at
wanted
all.
to do it your way.
And I can have a business, and I can have kids, and I can be married,
Uh-huh.
and I can have fun, and I can
Uh-huh.
go train with Navy SEALs.
Right.
You know, there's no limits to this life at all. And I grew up with liberal parents. I grew up with like parents that were just like, follow your heart, follow your heart, follow your heart. It doesn't make sense, but follow your heart. They never once said to me, how much money is that going to make you? How much money does he make?
I
How are you
love
going to live
that.
that life, right?
I love
No,
that.
you go to school, you go to 4 years of college to work out, and you get into a career where you don't even have to have a degree, you know? And I just said, yeah, let's figure it out.
I love it.
Because it was from here, it was from my heart.
Right.
And I was lucky enough to be able to learn how to
Right.
listen to that early enough, because I wasn't necessarily brought up by the fear. By lack.
This sounds like next week.
That sounds like next week.
Oh. Okay,
We
there's
got
a
the
little
lights.
lighting issue. We got the.
They're
we
like,
got the,
okay, it's time
we
to
got
go.
the warning. Wow, that should be maybe a topic next week. Well,
Yeah.
I loved our talk this week. This was great.
So good.
And the wine, delicious. Malbec, hadn't had one in a while, so that was a nice surprise. So thank you, Zach, wherever you
thank
are in
you.
the universe tonight.
I love the blind.
And
folded
yeah, we were
blind
literally blindfolded.
challenge.
Thank you. This was fun this week. And thank you, listeners. And we hope you join us next week.
Yes.
Have a lovely week.
Love you.
Yay, love you. Okay.
Yay! Good job.